In this presentation, we will discuss an ongoing project involving students of Portuguese as a foreign language in the US and students of English as a foreign language in Brazil. This project is a partnership between myself, Denise Osborne. I teach Portuguese at the University at Albany, State University of New York, and Nayara Salbego, who teaches English as a foreign language at the Federal Institute of Santa Catarina in Brazil. We will discuss our motivations for the project, the theoretical background, the steps involved in the project, including the presentation of some of our students' work and their feedback. Learning a foreign language is much more than learning how to conjugate verbs. It also includes the use of the language in cultural contexts. For instance, the use of the target language as learners interact with others in social practices. One question foreign language instructors might ask is, how can you help our students who are learning a target language in a foreign context achieve intercultural competence, since students most likely have limited exposure to the L2 input outside the classroom? The project we will present today was born from the need to provide our learners opportunities for developing their intercultural competence through interactions with native speakers of the target language. It involves students in the US who are learning Portuguese as a foreign language and students in Brazil who are learning English as a foreign language. The general goal of this project is to help students develop their intercultural communication by understanding and appreciating aspects of the target culture as well as aspects of their own culture. Students create videos focusing on cultural aspects of their everyday lives and narrating them in the target language. These videos are exchanged among students between these two countries, and they provide feedback in the target language to each other. In addition, responsibilities regarding assessment are shared among students, and at the end, students answer a survey about their perception of the project. Intercultural competence is an essential part of the student's success in L2 learning. In this study, we follow the framework of Byram, who provides us with the most well-known model for intercultural competence. According to Byram's model, the main components of intercultural competence are attitudes, knowledge, and skills. Attitudes involves to be open to a new cultural experience without judgment and with respect, not assuming that their own values, beliefs, and behaviors are the only possible and correct ones. Knowledge involves knowledge of the culture of the other and of one's own culture, knowledge of the processes of interaction in an individual level. Skills involves the ability to interpret events in another culture, ability to interact in a cultural practice, ability to relate a cultural practice or event from another culture to one's culture. In this project, we focus on the multimodal approaches of learning intercultural competence. Different disciplines have divided the culture into different types. In this project, we follow Seeley, who divided culture in two types, Big C and Little c. Big C is the objective culture. It includes our knowledge of the arts, such as opera, literature, music, architecture, etc., and historical facts. The L2 learner can learn about these cultural aspects in books, visiting museums, or doing research. For example, Carnival and Capoeira in Brazil, and the celebrations of 4th of July and Halloween in the United States. On the other hand, Little c refers to the knowledge shared by a group. It can be a behavior or a set of beliefs that are typical of a group or society. It is related to customs, norms, values, assumptions, communication styles, and the like. These shared knowledge many times are not obvious, they are hidden, and many times unconscious. Therefore, these aspects of the culture are more subjective. For example, clapping your hands in front of a house in Brazil means that you are calling someone in the house. Beating around the bush when refusing invitations shows politeness in Brazil, while most Americans prefer to be direct. Since it is more challenging for L2 students to learn aspects of the Little C, we decided to focus the project on these cultural aspects that are less obvious. Why should we care? If L2 learners do not have any knowledge of these more subjective cultural aspects in L2, problems and misunderstanding may occur when interacting with native speakers. For instance, since assumptions, values, styles are many times unconscious, L2 learners may assume that everyone shares the same assumptions, values, or styles that they have. By presenting this project, we hope to contribute to the challenging of applying multimodal pedagogies to the teaching and learning of intercultural competence in foreign language contexts in which L2 learners are exposed to limited L2 input. The general goal of this project is to promote opportunities of intercultural exploration by learning and sharing cultural aspects of the Little C among L2 learners and native speakers through multimodal affordances. This project also aims to provide learners with opportunities for the use of multimodality as affordances in a foreign language, opportunities for authenticity and autonomy, which gives L2 learners a sense of ownership, the use of creativity and imagination as a way for L2 learners self-express in the target language, collaborative authorship and participatory learning, shared responsibility, including assessment and evaluation, opportunities for improvisation, intercultural awareness, and increased self-confidence when producing the target language.